Thank you so kindly.
Thanks so kindly, and we are.
Just do that. Thank you so kindly.
Thanks so kindly, and we are gratified to have you. Welcome. Too many things are happening. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. My name is Julius J. 4 o'clock is first hour, 5 p.m. we'll have with us the head of FAWI. Milayas Z. Sharif will be here. We will talk about the things that matter only on the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Yes, indeed. Share the video. Invite others to join in. A whole lot is going on in the country. Woo! Respect the Rasta man, 'cause he's the only man left on creation. And if you live in a glass house, don't dwell. And if you can't take blows, brother, don't throw blows. Yep. Okay. This is where we go now. Right here. Throw stones. And if you can't take blows, it's time to throw blows. Most ghosts see I looking so humble. To try something, but your world would have crumbled. Caught behind thy back, you like to grumble. And whatever you're doing, whatever is happening, keep the faith, be strong. God is always in control. Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera has ordered the military to begin preparing to withdraw from their peacekeeping mission in the volatile Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The Malawian troops are part of the Southern African Regional Bloc's military mission deployed to DR Congo to help tackle armed groups. At least 20 peacekeepers, including 14 South Africans and 3 Malawians, were killed as the M23 rebels captured the key city of Goma, the capital of North Kivu province, last week. At least 17 children have died in a fire at an Islamic school in northern Nigeria, officials say. Several other pupils were injured and rushed to health centers in the town of Koronamoda, Zamfara State, for treatment. It is believed that the fire broke out in a nearby house on Tuesday night and spread to the school while the children, believed to be aged 10 to 16, were sleeping. And more than 100 female prisoners were raped and then burned alive during a jailbreak in the Congolese city of Goma, according to the UN. Hundreds of prisoners broke out of Mozenzi prison last Monday after fighters from the M23 rebel group began to take over the city. Between 165 and 167 women were assaulted by male inmates during the jailbreak, an internal UN document seen by the BBC says. A whole lot is happening. Tell us where you're following from, where you're watching from. Share the video. Invite others to join in. Yep. And of course, we'll take our break with some of our sponsors now. When we come back, the issues that matter are certainly going to be on the cards. Nowhere else but right here. Very interesting, very interesting things are coming up on the OK Conversation.
Liberia, the sun is shining, and so are your opportunities to enjoy 24 hours current with Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution. Why let the power of the sun go to waste when you can make use of it to generate current for your home, business, or community? With our state-of-the-art solar panels, you will enjoy 24 hours uninterrupted power, reliable energy, a greener, cleaner Liberia. Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution offers top quality, durable, and affordable solar panels designed for Liberia's sunny climate. So why wait? Call us today on 0772 262584 or visit our showroom, Claratown or Umako Building adjacent the RB Bank. Funny Brothers Corporation Solar Solution. Let's power your future with the sun together.
Internet service, fast, reliable service for your home and your office. Unlimited service with the best coverage. You better choose Connect. 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 Choose Connect. Connect. Connect.
Do you need a car?
Ready for an upgrade?
Then come to Sika Motors, sole distributors of Toyota vehicles, Mitsubishi vehicles, and Yamaha motorbikes, genuine accessories and spare parts.
You name it, we have it. We have the 2022 brands of Toyota vehicles. Select from our new Toyota Starlight,
Toyota Belter, Toyota Rush.
We've got the best deal in town through our Sika Motors financing schemes with selected banks, EcoBank Liberia and UBA Liberia, starting at the lowest as 500 USD. You won't believe these prices. Come for quality, reliability, and durability. Take a spin and let's make a deal.
Sika Motors on the UN Drive at Sayotown, Bushra Island, or call Sika Motors on +231 775 987 758 or email cmarketing@cfao.com. Sika Motors, drive with confidence.
Okay, thanks so kindly for being there. Let's take this statement that comes from Rotary International as they celebrate February as the month of peace and conflict prevention resolution. So they say February marks a significant moment in the Rotary calendar as Rotary International dedicates this month to the vital theme of peace and conflict prevention resolution. This initiative reflects Rotary's commitment to fostering goodwill, understanding, and collaboration among communities worldwide. In a world where conflict and division often overshadow dialogue and cooperation, Rotary recognizes the urgent need to promote peace as a fundamental human right. Throughout February, Rotary clubs around the globe will engage in activities that raise awareness about the importance of peace-building initiatives and conflict resolution strategies. The Rotary Club of Sincor launched its activities on Wednesday, February 5, 2025 at the Carina Hotel, Topman Boulevard, Sincor, for the observance of Peace and Conflict Prevention Resolution Month. On subsequent Wednesdays at Rotary Club of Sincor meetings, there will be presentations on topics relating to peace and conflict prevention and resolution in Liberia. On February 23, 2025, the exact date in 1905, when the first meeting of Rotary was held in Chicago, USA, which gave rise to the establishment of Rotary International. A friendship luncheon will be held at Monrovia City Hall starting at 1 p.m. Through these initiatives, Rotary aims to empower individuals and communities with the tools necessary to resolve disputes amicably and promote sustainable peace. Peace is not merely the absence of conflict, it is a dynamic process that requires continuous effort and commitment. As we celebrate this month, we encourage all Rotarians and community members to join us in making a positive impact and fostering an environment of understanding and collaboration. Rotary's dedication to peace aligns with its broader mission of service above self, emphasizing the importance of creating a better world for future generations. As we move through February, let us unite in our efforts to build bridges, foster dialogue, and cultivate a culture of peace in Liberia. Signed, Rotarian Esther W. Pega, President, Rotary Club of Sinkor. Okay. Welcome to it, the OK Conversation. We are right here. And of course, the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, if they've launched the EGP, Electronic Government Procurement System, started some years ago, has been concluded and launched by President Joseph Boakai. That's a good thing. Helps in the transparency sector in terms of procuring different things for government. On the report about the army equipment in Mali, what we're getting is so far so good. Another order has been given for the release of the funds. So far, as of this moment, we're not very sure whether the funds have been released, but I'm told this might be the third time the order has been given. So fingers crossed to see that the delivery of this $1.3 million to whomever is supposed to transport those equipment to Liberia. We'll see. So I don't know, some people are not happy. People are not happy. There's a group that I think it's a media group or whoever they are. You know, they went to honor the Liberia Electricity Corporation new team. The boss, they say they've done very well. Yeah, I know, person of the year, how they call it. Most outstanding state actors of the year 2024. That's what they want to do with the executive management team of LEC. Yo, so yeah, all kinds of things can happen in Liberia. And of course, people have not been happy over that. Because right after that, we all know the challenges we're facing. This dry season, like many other dry seasons, the issue of electricity is usually a major problem. And of course, earlier this month, LEC had told us that they have concluded some negotiations with Ivory Coast to increase the 25 megawatts of power to 50. Yep. And additional efforts to get more from Ghana and all of that. However, right after the honoring by this group, LEC released a statement yesterday saying the Liberia Electricity Corporation regrets to inform the public that we have observed that Compagnie Ivoirienne d'Electricité, that's French, which is CRE, it is the Ivorian Electricity Company. Compagnie Ivoirienne d'Electricité, that is the Ivorian Electricity Company. That's what it means in English. Some of you didn't take French seriously in school. You ate your French school fees. So our power supplier under the power purchase agreement has a low reduction of 85% due to production challenges and critical maintenance activities. So it has been happening, but they said they just noticed it. Yeah, they said they've noticed. So that's why we've all been having these challenges. Quite worse, quite terrible. Like, and I posted like in 24 hours, I get power less than 10 hours. Some people say less than 4 in their areas. So sometimes it will come soon morning by 1 or 2. Then it will go by 6 a.m. Then it will not come. Sometimes it will come by 12, 1. And then after a few hours, it go again. And throughout the whole night. That's why it is. And those are the kinds of things that are happening. So, you have a low reduction of 85% due to production challenges and critical maintenance activities. As a result, the power supply from CIE to LEC has been reduced from 50 megawatts to 7.5 megawatts until further notice. This adjustment is necessary to ensure the long-term stability and efficiency of their operations. The reduction in supply will affect electricity distribution in Monrovia and surrounding areas, leading to power outages beyond the normal schedule. So what is their response? In response to this unprecedented reduction, it has not been like this before, this kind of reduction, no. LEC has activated its thermal power plant to help mitigate the shortfall. However, this contribution remains minimal in bridging the energy gap, especially as the water level of the Mount Coffee hydro plant continues to decline, rendering the facility incapable of generating adequate electricity. We sincerely apologize. So that is that. No need to complain on them. That's why it is. It is the reality we have on ground. That's why people are angry for a group to go say they were honoring them. There is also this news. Okay, I will join Massa. Let me just join Massa one time. Yeah, Massa, let me join you one time. Let's join Massa one time. Quick updates before we come back in studio to run over some quick things. Okay, let's join Massa quickly, just for a few minutes, to give us some updates on the final arguments in the Capitol Fire case today. The final arguments are being made. Okay. Oh, yeah, Massa, just come in. Quick. Just come in. Let's just do 2-3 minutes of your time. People say, bring back our award. But how these guys can think? Just go there, go. I mean, I believe you sport. People should not have even accepted those. There are some things. Yeah, there are some things. Certain things people want to certain praises, and certain things people want to record to me. I say no, I don't deserve it. Yeah, you don't deserve something, you don't deserve it, right? Okay, so let's go over to Massa for just 2 or 3 minutes. Quick, Massa, welcome.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everybody.
Okay, the Capitol Fire case. Where are we with it now?
Today, the magisterial court, the Senate court, they had a final argument. But before then, the accused or the suspect or the defendants in the case, their lawyers filed a motion to suppress evidence and return properties. They filed that with the magisterial court, and they cited a lot of reasons in it, and they are asking the court to give back everything they took from the defendants in this proceeding, because they feel that the way the investigation was done by the security, it was not done in conformity with law. Especially when the defendants alleged that they were tortured by some security apparatus to forcefully get information from them, and then that their phones that have the conversation, the recordings and chats on how they plan to allegedly burn the building prior to the incident, everything in the phones. And according to the defense team, is that those phones were even confiscated from the defendants before the security or the LNP requested for search and seizure, because according to the state lawyers, they asked for a search and seizure on the 18th of December to allow them go into almost more than 65 persons that were arrested, suspects that were arrested. They asked for search and seizure from the court, and the court granted them. They went into their phones, but the defense is arguing that that was not the case. They had these phones only 3 days later before they asked the court to grant it, because the police IG, according to the defense lawyer, told the prosecutors or told the county attorney that he should ask for search and seizure because the property was in their possession, where they gave them the go ahead so that they could go in the phone. But that's what they allege. But the state is saying that that did not happen. And so they concluded today they want the state to they want the judge to rule dismiss the charges against those people and return everything, because the way the investigation was not done properly.
And what did the state say?
What did the judge say, or the state?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the state is saying that they did everything in conformity with law, and then the state is saying that those pieces of evidence that they brought forth to the court, the defense lawyer were present. They had the argument, testimonies were taken. They testified to these instruments, and then they were admitted to evidence. And so by law, they cannot they cannot suppress them. They have to go to the trial jury, because that's why they're saying, this evidence should not go there. Return everything to our clients. But
when is the judge expected?
The judge said by Wednesday 9, because Tuesday will be Armed Forces Day. Okay. So by Wednesday 9 o'clock to 10, they will rule in the matter. But he dismissed the motion. So it's the final argument that they had that they will be the motion part to suppress. He dismissed that on grounds that they were in court. They listened the pieces of evidence, the document, they were testified to. They did not object to it, to any of them. And then they've been admitted, and they're asking that it should not go to trial. He denied the motion. So those evidence that the police or the security brought against the defendants you'll be admitted into evidence and whatsoever. But they took exception to it, meaning they could go to the circuit court sooner, court A. Okay.
There
were two additional suspects were arrested yesterday too.
Yeah, we reported on that. Yes. Do we know anything from the Supreme Court on the Ministry of Transport, Road Traffic Management, blah blah blah? Because there was supposed to be a hearing today, a conference today.
So the conference mostly is not open. So with that, we have to maneuver somehow and get details or what was discussed in a conference with the in a conference person. And then there is another thing again that was also in conference. Some magistrates have complained against the Chief Justice. So the Justice in Chamber is supposed to have a conference. I think they have that conference yesterday. So we're following all these things.
Thanks so kindly, Massa. Let's leave you to continue with your different things that you were doing. Yeah. Now, let's go to this one from the IMF, And interestingly, I like when government officials, when you are in government, government officials, and the government officials are the ones running with the stories that are supposedly positive stories. You're not seeing ordinary people getting involved. It should tell you there's a problem. Yeah, government officials, you'll be running with the positive stories. Even your own partisans not really running with those positive stories. You should know you're already developing a problem. And clients were saying this morning about some good things happen, but the bad things that can happen can overshadow the good things. That's why it's important for government to be careful what all you people do, especially when you are in opposition and all those kinds of things. They come back to haunt you. Also this morning people were talking about paid top-ups and all of that. I've got messages from people. We see no top health people, teachers. We see top-up. Perhaps we should try to. Next week we should be able to hear from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and CSA what is happening. How is it supposed to be? Why is it people are not seeing these top-ups? And some have been complaining about some cuts. What kind of rate does the government use? In fact, when they're putting people money in LD, all those kinds of things are important to talk about. Yeah, a few people say, yeah, they got top-ups, but lots of those who called this morning said the same, and the messages I got also said this. Then people complain, oh, people want to be political. It is not being political. It is a person's pay. They're working, and the government promised that they were going to top these people up, different people with different figures. So if they do not see it, they have the right to complain, and they should say it. Yeah, they should say it. So IMF Executive Board completes the first review under the extended credit facility arrangement for Liberia. And this was released on last evening. And it says the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund completed the first review of the arrangement under the extended credit facility for Liberia, allowing Liberia to draw SDR 34.3 million, equivalent to about 13.3% of quota of $46 million. So Liberia got $46 million, which will be used to strengthen Liberia's international reserve position. That this money here is not for government to use it to pay people. It's not to support budget, but to use it to strengthen the international reserve position of the country. Liberia's economic growth has remained strong, with the real GDP growth expected to accelerate to 5.6% in 2025 from 4.8% in 2024. Inflation and exchange rate has remained stable, and the current account deficit has continued to narrow. Between the time they wrote this report and now, we cannot say the exchange rate has remained stable. Things have changed from the 170 something or 80 something. It's all the way up to 190 something now. The authorities have successfully restored fiscal discipline, which is key for maintaining micro-financial stability. Good thing, right? The public debt to GDP ratio has started to fall, reflecting a sizable consolidation of the fiscal primary balance. Recent progress in mobilizing tax revenues, reining in recurrent spending, and anchoring financial stability is promising. The authorities' commitment to modernize the taxation regime, including the adoption of the VAT, will play a crucial role in creating fiscal space for higher investments while preserving debt sustainability. The authorities' renewed commitments to urgently tackle issues in weak banks and improve governance in public institutions are encouraging. Addressing the large and persistent non-performing loans stock remains a priority to enhance financial stability. The Executive Board approved the authorities' request for a waiver of non-observance of the continuous performance criterion on the non-accumulation of external arrears based on its minor nature and adopted corrective actions. Following the Executive Board discussion, Mr. Bowley, Deputy Managing Director and Acting Chair, made the following statement. The Liberian authorities are making good progress in implementing sound macroeconomic policies and structural reforms. The program is broadly on track, and the authorities' efforts to enhance fiscal sustainability, rebuild international reserves, and address governance weaknesses within public institutions are gradually taking effect. Efforts to strengthen fiscal sustainability and mitigate debt vulnerabilities should continue over the medium term. In line with these efforts, the approved budget for 2025 aims to improve revenue mobilization while continuing to rationalize unproductive spending and safeguard priority spending. Medium-term fiscal reforms designed to enhance domestic revenue mobilization and improve public finance management will create fiscal space to bolster public investment. The authorities should press ahead with addressing weaknesses in the Central Bank of Liberia's governance. Swift implementation of the recommendations of the compliance and forensic audit reports. An update, IMF safeguards assessment, and an independent legal review of its unconventional financial support to two small banks is critical. This will help restore the CBL's credibility and strengthen its governance and independence. Broader governance reforms are key to the success of the program and the country's long-term development prospects. Strengthening the capacity of integrity institutions, enacting necessary amendments to anti-corruption legislation, and rigorously enforcing public laws and regulations are critical. The upcoming governance diagnostic study will be critical in guiding broader governance reforms. Strengthening banking sector supervision and the regulatory framework is important to address banking sector vulnerabilities. To this end, the adoption of the new Bank Financial Institutions and Bank Financial Holding Companies Act should be expedited. Restructuring of a state-owned bank, along with measures to address weaknesses in two small troubled banks, should be accelerated. The authorities are firmly committed to revitalizing the reform agenda to address the country's development challenges and support sustainable and inclusive economic development. The successful implementation of the recently adopted National Development Strategy is critical in achieving these goals. Boom, press release ends. So yeah, they're saying some positive things in terms of fiscal reforms and all those kinds of things, which is good. If the country must be able to make progress. They also highlighted concerns with the bank, issues of the fight against corruption, issues of strengthening accountability institutions, transparency institutions, and all of that were also highlighted. On the overall, positive. But why is it only government officials sharing it? It's not gaining traction? Because this is not the first time that the IMF has said these things about Liberia, about the country. Let me take you to 2022. I will tell you some things that we used to say before. You know, and to God be the glory that some of us were able to be strong enough to report these things and analyze them when they were said before. So we have the moral authority to report them and analyze them again today. Even though when the current government were in opposition, they did not want you saying these things that the IMF said the government has done this or they are going done this positive things. Oh no. IMF number, the bread and butter issue. As soon as the IMF said this, they don't want you, they did not want you to mention it. So those things come back. When you see on some of the government official posts, you see the comments there, were almost similar things that they were saying. And that's what we usually said. Sometimes the way the politics works is not okay. When there are positive things, it is positive. We make it to appear like it is nothing because it will make the government in power look good. Hey, on August 24, 2022, IMF Executive Board completes fourth review credit under the extended credit facility arrangement, blah, blah, blah. What did they say? In 2022, about Liberia then, the previous regime, the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund completed today the 2022 Article 4 consultation of the full review on the step, blah, blah, blah. The 4-year arrangement with total assets of SDR 155 million, 60% of quota. That time they were giving Liberia 214.3 million was approved. This one is about 40-something million, right? But this was the fourth. This is the first. So the IMF usually has 4 quarters to disburse this money. So this was the fourth. If you go back to 2020 and all those other previous 2021, you can see, check the IMF site, you see all of the releases they've had about Liberia. 2022, I will take you to 2021 as well. What did they say then? So they approved 214 million was approved by the Executive Board on December 11, 2019. Okay, yeah, that was it. And today's decision allows for immediate disbursement. So they disbursed 22 million out of the 214 million, which was the fourth quarter and the final one. Bringing total disbursement under the arrangement to SDR 85 million. That is 110.7 million. In completing the fourth review, the Executive Board granted a waiver of non-observance of the end June 2021 quantitative performance criteria, blah, blah, blah. Liberia experienced a strong economic recovery in 2021. Growth is expected to soften to 3.7% in 2022, largely due to heightened global uncertainties and the commodity price shocks, which are pushing inflation into the double digits. Liberia's COVID-19 vaccination program has accelerated in recent months, but pandemic-related risks, including a potential outbreak of new variants, remain. The upcoming political cycle with presidential and parliamentary elections scheduled for September 2023 is another source of uncertainty. Following the executive board discussion, Mr. Bo Lee, the same Bo Lee, deputy managing director and acting chair, made the following statement: the Liberian authorities continue to implement sound macroeconomic policies despite delays of the broad-based reform agenda. The authorities managed to keep the program broadly on track by preserving macroeconomic stability, ensuring a comfortable international reserve position, and maintaining debt sustainability. The supplementary budget for 2022 aims primarily to mitigate pressures on food prices and stabilize the state-owned electricity company. To limit the temporary widening of the fiscal deficit, the authorities have streamlined non-priority spending while largely preserving the significant increase of public investment relative to previous years, made possible by partial use of IMF 2021 SDR allocation to Liberia. You read the whole thing, you will see where they have concerns as well. If you go back to 2021, the point I'm making is the language really doesn't significantly change, especially when efforts are made. But the reaction by the political authorities then was not okay. It was one of disdain. It was one of, oh, me. In 2021, November 24, 2021, today the Executive Board of International Monetary Fund, the third review of extended credit facility, the 4th year, blah, 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 with total, blah, 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 was approved, IMF Board, blah, blah, blah. Completion of the third review enables an immediate disbursement of 23.64 million, bringing total disbursement under the arrangement of 68 million, blah, blah, blah. On August 23, 2021, Liberia received 247.7 million, that's 345.3 million in total in the context of the general SDR allocation to the IMF membership. Program performance has been mixed with a favorable fiscal outcome, but delays in the implementation of the structural reform agenda. Despite the challenges from the COVID-19 pandemic, the authorities have kept the program broadly on track and maintained macroeconomic stability, with the fiscal deficit slightly declining to 4.2% of GDP thanks to higher grants and inflation receding to 13% in 2020. While the economy contracted to 3% in 2020, for 2021, growth of 3.6% is expected, with the fiscal deficit declining further to 2.4% of GDP and inflation reaching the single digits. The Executive Board granted a waiver of non-observance of the end December 2020 quantitative performance criteria on net internal reserves on the basis of corrective action, and a waiver of non-observance on the continuous performance criterion on external arrears of the central government based on its minor nature. Following blah 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 Boli, what did Boli say? The economy is on track to rebound strongly next year, following the setback from the COVID-19 pandemic. The medium-term outlook is favorable, and the authorities are committed to steadfast implementation of their macroeconomic stabilization and structural reform programs. The authorities intend to use the new SER, blah, blah, blah. So, good things can happen. That's the point. Under every government, good things can happen. And when they happen, we should say it. Today, you may not be in government, you may be in opposition. But it is a positive thing when the authorities are doing positive things, right? But your reaction, how you react, how you downplay it, when your time comes, and how the reaction can be. So there's positive news, which could set a good basis, may encourage partners, may encourage investors to come to the country and all those kinds of things. It's not being celebrated, it's not being welcomed a whole lot because it was downplayed yesterday by the very people who are sharing it today. A whole lot of them posting. Officials, most of them posting on their pages because they express disdain then. So who will accept that thing? No? People say that thing you're talking is not in the part. No, but things can just get import like that, my people. Fellow Liberians, things don't just get import. Things always have to happen in terms of the bigger space. What the government does, the actions that are taken to ensure that there can be jobs. Certain things have to happen at the base. You have to set the foundation of the house in such a way that you can have the bricks better laid, the roof, blah, 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 and then you have a good house in the end. You see a fine, beautiful house. But from the foundation level, it can look like that. But certain things have to happen at the foundation level for the beautiful house to come up. The style of politics in Liberia is, even when other people trying to make the foundation level look good, they will discount it and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes the husband, yeah, with me right in the middle. Then they come back now to set their own foundation. It can be easy. Everybody, I think now we talking about sleeping in comfortable room. That your foundation thing you own. We not here for it. That's how the politics makes the people. And that's why some of us will always be here to say, no, hold on. This is it. This is the reality. Yeah? So, Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications. Interesting. We told you we've been following a whole lot. And thanks to Clarence as well, who... So the man, the spokesman called, they wrote that kind of long release, no hey, no tay, just jumping all over the place. They bought a phoning bus, or some phoning buses, and then the GSA people said, no, we're begging you, that one, but we can't accept it. You'll carry back. Because they did all kinds of things that they should not have done at that ministry, my people. You know, Minister Seku, yeah, you really got to do better, you and your people. You people have to do better, because I'm getting a whole lot. For example, I have in my hands that, do you all know that place where we can send things and receive things? We can send things out of the country, right? You send your fish, your different things, your people send stuff to you through post. That place there, we are hearing about corrupt activities taking place there. We've seen evidence. Some of the receipt, you can see it. You know, that money, there is no real accountability around it. So some of the officials allegedly can just go take some money from that place. Because not serious accountability is around it. The money people pay to send stuff. Not serious accountability. I've seen evidence. You check the receipt book. Some receipt with BB money on it. Where maybe the person spent 100, 200, or 300 to send something. You can't find it, those kinds of receipts. You can't find them. So then you look 10, 15, 20 of them. Not available. The LTA. There is some kind of regular 5% remittance that the LTA does to Ministry of Post and Telecommunication. The reporting around it is hazy. And by next week, when we have enough time, we'll unveil documents. No clarification over how the money is spent. Ministry of Posts and Telecommunications. So it's not just about the bus issue. They have serious administrative issues in that place. It is very important, Mr. President, to look at those places. No count as well. The issues are deepening. We're hearing about the LACC inviting people to answer some questions. So I thought GSA function is to procure, things needed by government and all of that and blah, blah, blah. But how can government entities can just buy cars? Why is it not GSA that should buy the cars and then give it to the government entity? I think by that, we will be able to avoid this issue of anybody just jumping on in the field that they can buy 60,000, 75,000 car. Federal libraries, does that make sense? So GSA just supposed to be there when you buy it and you carry that, then they code it. I think they should give GSA more teeth to bite. Let their function be implemented as they should. So if the government has a policy that certain layers should not use more than 45,000 cars, certain layers should not use more than 30,000 cars, and blah blah blah, and the ministry makes it known that in the coming year they need to buy 3, 4, 5 cars and blah blah blah. GSA should be the one to buy the car, the code it, give it to you. You got a government car. 777-700-995, 555-995-995. The numbers to call, and you will be through to the OK conversation on OKFM 99.5. Let's take few calls. Next up will be Forest Tower. Okay. Yes, it was right here. Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Sarah's Bay and I call you from Papa.
Go ahead, Chief.
Yeah, the issue of the post, the strategy the mayor used every time that he carry on corruption and he sat with some civil these organizations so that they can reward him as a debt minister of the year. He just avoiding the future. But he doing things that is not worth doing. But he now pay people so that he can work as a debt minister so that he can do good in front of the president. So me too. But he doing the ugly thing.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
what I was there, but the economy is like Julius Baga need to do more. The economy is down totally. Just imagine more air and there is nothing that we are seeing. Yeah, so you need to do more.
When you say nothing you are seeing, what does that mean?
What I'm trying to say is that when the more air people usually pay and they leave money circulate, but money is not circulating.
Yeah, maybe the people holding on to their money.
You see it? When money is circulating, as we the business people.
Okay, money. Yeah, I get your point. Like true, I know what you're talking.
Maybe
the people, you know, sometimes when things are clear, people can be holding on to money. They can spend too much. Yeah.
Okay.
But thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Julia. How you doing today?
I'm fine, Chief.
I don't know what the people we don't know what to do. I remember during the Trump administration, GSA was responsible to do the purchasing of all government.
But that's how it should be.
GSA was responsible.
Yeah.
You want to make an amendment and go to the budget. GSA purchase the car, labor the car, access number them, and send it over to the industry entities. But what they have changed. And there are people within the government who know exactly what GSA is supposed to do.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Well, I'll be on it next. We'll have to push that point. You know, we'll have to push that. Oh, sorry. I like that one. Go. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius, good afternoon, Julius.
I'm fine. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Julius. My name is Tipe S. Mator, and I do call you from my Johnsonville residence.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Julius, I would like to speak on the issue of the fire incident, the Capitol building that got burned. I think from your reporter, which is Massa, I think what I learned from that is that the defendant lawyer, they want to do something to compromise the case. Reason being, the state prosecutor, they said they have evidence and they display this evidence, and these people, the defendants, admit to this evidence. So
where did the defendants admit to the evidence? Where?
But they said
in court?
The woman
in
said
court?
the evidence.
Yeah. Did they admit in court?
Oh, the reporter said it.
No. When they say no, hold on now. When they say admit into evidence, it doesn't mean that the person in court said yes. It means that the evidence was accepted in court.
Yeah, so if the evidence was accepted in the court, then why this?
No, that one. I know about that one though. But thanks so kindly. I don't know about law. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius, good afternoon. Julius, this is actually Wuzin, first because son of KOK. I'm joining you this afternoon from the job district number 14.
Go ahead.
Julius, the incident at the Capitol building relating to the fire issue, there is a audio that is circulating on social media relating to a guy who said he was forcibly to be confessed that Representative Steve was the one who gave him money. He was tortured. Is the reason he said some of these things. Julius, if the state security and our government has to force people to confess to issues that they are not
we did not discuss that because we here at OKFM, we are careful with those, you know, kinds of things and all of that. Anybody who get evidence whatsoever, let it be discussed in court.
So the issue of the post in telecommunication, that ministry, things have changed like previously before we noticed the tendency of former President Salih. We saw the GAC was the one who was buying cars and things around here for government ministry. But I don't know how it's transformed that today we see ministry and minister having money in their capacity to go and buy cars. Things are just changing. I think President Boga needs to take note of some of these things because these are corruption like space running around the corridor.
Thanks so kindly. Let's squeeze in the final one. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Dagondi, and thank you for allowing me. This is Yinka, and I'd like to commend you on the way you summarily dealt with the question around evidence. Yes, because this is a very technical area, and your callers, they just be talking something they may not understand. Evidence a whole law. In fact, it's a whole 2-semester course in the first place. You have to understand that. So when you say evidence, it's wanting to just say evidence, but whether it is admissible is another thing, and whether the evidence has a probative value. There's a whole question around evidence. So I just wanted to commend you, and I want to encourage you to continue to deal very, very summarily on the question of evidence. Because people just put anything out there without understanding what they're saying.
Okay.
You know, there's a whole gathering and preservation process of evidence. So the layman may not understand that.
Sure.
So it's good that you guard yourself against the kinds of cumbersome areas. Thank you so much.
Thanks so kindly, Mr. Yinkan. Let's take a break now for Forest Hour. We'll be back at 5 o'clock. Again, it is as it is. If you are government and only you, the BB people in the government, sharing positive news, then your government already has a